So, it's the Manchester Derby this weekend, and we're going to be previewing that game in this video. Obviously, there's a lot at stake for the two managers. I think Pep can lose this game, and it can be just... This is a hot take, could be a hot take. And it can just be brushed under the target because he's not got as much pressure as Ruben Amorim. If Ruben Amorim loses this, there is probably cause for concern for his job. And if he loses this, his time could be up. If he wins more games, he's got more time. If he loses more games, he's got less time at Manchester United. And I just don't think that the Manchester United board in the past have given their managers much time. Obviously, with Erik ten Hag, he won 2 trophies in 2 seasons and had a very poor start to last season. Ruben Amorim has been nothing but dreadful so far. Given time, I don't know how well he could do because I didn't watch him at Sporting. But he has to start winning games on a weekly basis. The only game he's won so far was against Burnley, 3-2, which, a game I don't think they should have won, to be honest with you. I think they should have drawn that game, and they should only right now have 1 point. Because they lost against Arsenal, first game of the season, drew to Fulham, obviously lost to Grimsby in the Carabao Cup. They're literally just in the FA Cup, and it's September, and beat Burnley by the skin of the teeth. They beat Burnley because they were awarded a penalty. So it's not great at all. I do think Manchester United come into this game could be, I don't know, a bit up and down. They've got Matheus Cunha out injured. I do have an injury list of both teams. I've done my homework for this one. I do have an injury list somewhere for Manchester United. Yes, I do. Diogo Dalot, he has a muscle injury. Lisandro Martinez, cruciate ligament injury. Mason Mount is out with a knock. And the all-important Matheus Cunha is out with a thigh injury. So I don't know. I mean, it depends how United play. Like, they could come into this one, because it's the first time I'm going to say this. Both teams are dreadful. Man City have been so bad over the last 10 months. It's ever since Erling Haaland said be humble. I forgot that happened, to be honest. It's been so long since anyone said that. It went on for such a long period of time, and then just suddenly stopped when the season ended. But I do think that Manchester City, I don't know. I think people thinking that Man United could win this haven't watched Man United much this season, because they barely beat Burnley. Barely. Yes, they do have Senna Lomans coming in to replace Andrew Onana, who has gone out on a loan spell to Trabzonspor in the Turkish league. I think Kobe Mainoo has to play this game. Casemiro is 33 years old. Kobe Mainoo is in his early 20s. Who do you want to play more? I just don't think, with the talent that Kobe Mainoo possesses, I just don't think that he can sit on the bench. I think while you've got him on the bench, you're not going to be playing well in that midfield. In that midfield, they've got Bruno Fernandes, Mason Mount, and Casemiro at the minute. But I think that Ruben Amorim doesn't rate Kobe Mainoo, to be honest. I mean, he was nearly sold on deadline day. He was like, I think Kobe Mainoo did want out because he wasn't getting enough game time. I just think that while you've got a young, fresh, was he 20, 21 years old, sat on the bench, while you've got a 33-year-old Casemiro playing in your midfield. Don't get me wrong, Casemiro's a fantastic footballer, but he's 33. Like, yeah, he's 33 years old, he's getting slower, and age has caught up with him, in my opinion. He's not as good as he once used to be. Start playing Mainu, because at the minute, you need him more than Casemiro. Casemiro's 33 years old. 33 years old. Bruno Fernandes, I think you have to play because he's captain of your team. Whether you think he's captain material or not is up to you. I personally don't think he is. But he's one of the best players of your team, and arguably a player that's been carrying you for, like, the last few months, really. Again, could be a hot take. Mason Mount, he's out with an injury, so I don't know who you play there. But, yeah, we're going to go into some stats in a minute. I always bring receipts with me. Gianluigi Donnarumma has signed for Man City on a permanent deal, and he does replace Edison Moraes. And I'd arguably put him in top 5. I'd arguably put him top 5 in the world right now. He's just come off the back of a Champions League, and he's got to be top 5. He's definitely top 10. Top 5 goalkeepers in the world right now. I don't think there's many goalkeepers that come before him, to be honest. But we're going to read out some stats. So, Liga, matches played, 24. By the way, there is a list for goals scored here, but he hasn't, so we're not going to read that one out. It's not necessary if he hasn't scored any. 24 matches played in Liga. Goals conceded, 21. Clean sheets, 4. Yellow cards, 2. Red cards, 0. UEFA Champions League, 15 games played, 13 goals conceded, and 6 clean sheets, 0 yellow cards, and 0 red cards. FIFA Club World Cup, in which he and PSG were unsuccessful in, 7 matches played, 4 goals conceded, and 5 clean sheets, 0 yellow cards, and 0 red cards. UEFA Nations League, 6 matches played, 8 goals conceded, and 1 clean sheet, 1 yellow card, 0 red cards. So in total, he played 53 matches, conceded 46 goals, and got 17 clean sheets, 3 yellow cards, and 0 red cards. 66% save percentage, 0.90 conceded per 90, 17% clean sheets, 22.20 passes per 90. 70% clean sheets. 17, that is. 17% clean sheets, yeah. I think that with Donnarumma in goal, obviously I don't think James Trafford's ready yet for Man City. He's just come from the Championship, and the Championship's a whole different ball game to the Premier League. It's it's less competitive than the Premier League, and the intensity's not as intense as the Premier League, so I don't think James Trafford can really start as Man City's number 1 yet. Will he get there? I don't know, but he's come to Man City to be number 1, and he's going back onto the bench for Donnarumma, so it's more or less going back to square one. I think he's gone there to be a backup keeper because Stefan Ortega can't save a shot to save his life. So, we're going to move on to goalkeeping stats now. Actually, no, we're going to move on to Liga stats. Matches played, 24 per 90, non-applicable, so not enough data for that. 48%, that is 48 percentile, I should say percentile really. Minutes, 2,092, 87 minutes per appearance, and that is at a 72 percentile. Matches subbed in, 0, again non-applicable, 73 percentile. Matches started, 24, non-applicable for per 90, and then percentile, non-applicable. Matches in, subbed in, 24, no that's not 24, sorry, 1. Then per 90, again, no data for that, so that will go down as N/A, and then percentile N/A. We're going to move on to some goalkeeping stats now. Shots faced in total, 79. Per 90/% is 3.18, and that is at 12 percentile. Shots saves, 49, And per 90/percent is 2.11, and a percentile is 19. Saves percentage, 49 saves per 74 shots, is 66.22 per 90/percentile, and then percentile is 50. Punches, 5 at P90, so per 90/percentile is 0.22, and then percentile is 52. So, yeah. He looks like an astonishing signing. I do think that he's going to be a great goalkeeper for Man City. I think he's going to get a lot of clean sheets this season. Maybe not a lot. Maybe not a lot, but get a few. I'm going to say between 5 and 8. 5 and 8 clean sheets. That will be insane if he gets that. That will be insane. That will be crazy. I think Gianluigi Donnarumma might honestly be a contender for Golden Glove Award. I can't lie. I think he looks really good, to be honest. I think he's going to be sensational for Manchester City. We do now have some stats on Manchester United's new goalkeeper signing, Senna Lomens. Now, I am not going to claim that I have watched this guy at all. I have watched some clips, and he does look like a good goalkeeper, but he seems to then parry the ball out, like, into a danger zone, and then goals are conceded from that. But let's read some stats out. So, in the Belgian Pro League, he played 41 matches. This is for last season. Goals conceded, 50. That's not great. Goals conceded, clean sheets, 10. And the minutes he played was 3,690. In the Belgian Cup, he played 3 matches. He conceded 3 goals. 3 goals in 3 games. And then kept 0 clean sheets, which, bit shaky. And the minutes, 270. In total, 44 matches played. 53 goals conceded, 10 clean sheets, and 3,960 minutes played. Now, to be honest with you, they had a chance. Manchester United had the options of signing Emi Martinez or Senna Lomens. Now, Senna Lomens played for Royal Antwerp in a league that doesn't have much. He's not played in a good league, should I say. Like, he's not played in one of the top 5 leagues in Europe. Maybe arguably not even the top 10. And he's coming into a league where it's very, very competitive. And he's not experienced in a big league like this. Let's not jump on his back straight away. We'll give him 5 games. 5 games. And if he's had... We'll judge him after 5 games. That's what I always say about a footballer. We will judge them after 5 games. But yeah, some shaky stuff there from Senna Lomens. If he does this at Manchester United, I do think they're going to have some harsh things to say about him. But yeah. We'll just have to see how he does. But yeah, we will just have to see how he does. But we're next going to move on to Ruben Amorim. His record is so bad. Ready? 29 Premier League games, 7 wins, 7 draws, and 15 losses. That's really bad. That's really bad. Really, really, really bad. Wow. He needs to get a win in this game. He needs to get a win. I've not said much about Man City yet, have I? I haven't. Their injury list was 11 players, 11 first-team players out at one point. It has been shortened. Now, we're going to move on to the last 5 meetings in just a couple of minutes' time. But their injury list was really bad at one point. It was 11 players out injured, but it has now been, reduced to 6 players out, which is Ryan Shaki, John Stones, Calvin Phillips, who doesn't do anything when he comes onto the pitch anyway, so that won't affect him too much. Mateo Kovacic, who I don't really rate, and I don't think Man City rate him, Man City fans that is. Omar Mamouche, who has suffered a knee injury, I think it is, with Egypt in the international break. He's going to be out for a sustained period. I think that Man City will probably have to play Phil Foden, Jeremy Doku, or Savinho, who was injured but now isn't injured. So I think it'll be either Doku or Foden, who plays next to Haaland on the left on Sunday. And then I think it'll be Oscar Bob on the right, Reinders, Rodri and Silva in the midfield. And then, you could play Gvardiol at left back, Diaz at CB, Kushanov at centre back, and then Mateus Nunes at right back. I think that's where Mateus Nunes has been playing. But I do think we're going to move on to the last 5 meetings now. But yeah, it's not looking that the injury situation for Man City isn't good. One bad injury to Haaland, and you're screwed. You're genuinely screwed. Where was that last 5 meetings page that I wrote? Here we go. So 6th of April was a 0-0 draw, arguably one of the most boring Manchester derbies. 15th of December, Manchester United won that 2-1 at the Etihad Stadium in the Premier League. 10th of August 2024 was the FA Community Shield, and Man City won that 7-6 on penalties. 25th of May 2024 was a Manchester United win in the Premier League, and then the 3rd of March 2024 was a 3-1 win for Man City in the Premier League. So you feel that Man City have to win this one. But as I said, maybe a hot take, if Pep was to lose this, I think he has to win, because that would then be 3 games out of 4 lost. But I think Ruben Amorim needs this more. I think if it was Pep, it could just be brushed under the carpet. But I don't know. Tell me what you think about that. That might be a bit of a hot take. But yeah, I think both sides need a win, but Manchester United definitely need it more. They've only got 4 points on the board, which isn't good enough for the start of the season. City have even less points on the board. They have 3 points. 3 points on the board. So that's 1 less than Man United. If Man City win this game on Sunday, I think it might be curtains for Ruben Amorim. And I think Haaland, he's not going to be there to mess about. He's arguably the best striker, the best striker in front of Alexander Isak in the Premier League. And he is bound to score in this game. He's haunted them a lot over the last few years. I remember that 6-3 win at the Etihad that Man City dominated in the treble winning season in the 22-23 season. He will hurt Manchester United on Sunday. I think that Man City will win this, and I think there's only a short amount of time left for Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. But Manchester United could have a good game, It depends. It depends. I think Bremo's a great signing. Sesko, I think, has to start performing for his value of £79 million, euros. His 1 goal contribution so far this season was an assist for Zan Vapotnik against Sweden in a 2-2 draw in the international break that's just gone. So that is his only goal contribution so far. Still hasn't scored a goal for Manchester United or got an assist. But yeah, I think he's going to score a few headed goals this season. He scored 26 goals in all comps for RB Leipzig last season, and 10 of those were headed goals. So it's possible that he does score quite a lot of headed goals. But yeah, he's only been in 3 games. We probably do have to give Sesko time. But if he don't start getting goal contributions for Man United, who knows? Is he a flop? I think it's too hard to tell. 3 games in, it is way too hard to tell whether he's going to be a success or not. But I think it will be a pretty... I don't know. I think Man City will win, But Man United will have their chances. Man United will have their chances. I think Mainu has to play for Manchester United on Sunday. It's going to be interesting to see how Senna Lomans plays, in my opinion. I think you have to play in Burmo. Cunha's injured. Does Sesko start? I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, if you enjoyed that video, as always, guys, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn your post notifications on, and I will see you lovely lot in the next one. Please take care of your beautiful selves, and peace out.